You know, there's people that walk into the room and they exert this amazing magnetic charisma and they light up the room and people are just drawn to them. Today we will be talking about how to be magnetic, how to be a magnetic woman, how to attract what you want into your life, how to attract the people, the places, the circumstances that will change your life, that will be more in alignment with you, that will make you feel good about yourself and will enhance your life. And to do that, a beautiful tool is to become a magnetic woman. And let me tell you right now, being magnetic is nothing to do with your appearance. It's nothing to do with how you look. It's more to do with the energy that you bring. So being magnetic and attractive in that way, anyone can learn that, and this is a skill that can be taught. It's not something that we are born with. It is the energy that we bring to the table. It is the energy that we bring whenever we are around others. And in this episode, I wanted to bring that to you because I feel and I know that this is an amazing tool, and it's so powerful to be magnetic and be intentional with your energy, with what you bring to those around you, whether it's looking for a new job, going to the interview, whether it is finding a home and putting the offer in for home, whether it is dating. All of these situations, whenever there are other people involved, you can use and utilize and leverage your magnetism. And today in this episode, I'm bringing to you 8 steps of how to be more magnetic. So number 1, to become magnetic is know thyself and know what people you want in your life. Now, I wanted to bring this as a first point is because it is so important to understand that being magnetic can be dangerous in some ways, because when you exhort and expose that energy and become the magnetic self, and you have this energy around you, you will attract people that might not necessarily be the people that you do want to attract. You generally will just attract people into your life. And so it's so important to know who you are, to understand yourself and what is it that you want to manifest into your life, what relationships, what jobs, what circumstances, what situations you are willing to attract into your life. So first and foremost, knowing what it is that you want, and also knowing yourself, what works for you, what's important to you, and what relationships and career paths and circumstances and opportunities you do want to attract. So being magnetic stems from knowing your worth and knowing what you actually want to attract into your life. So to find out and to know, if you don't feel sure of, okay, what is it that I actually want in my life? What are the people that I don't want into my life? That probably will be easier to write. I do recommend journaling about this. I recommend you sitting down and writing what are the people that you want to invite to your life? What are the traits? What are their values? What are they bringing into your life? Because when you are very clear and you are channeling that energy very clearly as to what you want, that's what you shall attract. So that's number 1, being clear of who you are, what's important to you, what values you carry, and what people do you want to attract into your own life. What jobs, what energies are you allowing and inviting into your energetical field, into your existence, into your life. It's so important to know who you are before you go and be all magnetic, because when we are becoming magnetic, we have to understand that this carries a responsibility. It carries kind of this very powerful energy when we will start attracting people, but we will also might attract people who we don't want into our life. So it's so important to be very grounded in who it is that we are and what we want to bring to our life. So that's number one. Number two on my notes is magnetic is not how you look, but is the energy that you bring. And that is so, so important, because oftentimes when we don't necessarily feel the best self, or we don't necessarily think that we are in accordance with societal expectations or trends, we are not specifically the beautiful magnetic person that we want to be. I think it's so important to know and realize that your magnetism and your charisma, it's nothing to do with the way you look. You can, as long as you feel magnetic and you feel that your energy and what you bring to the table, who you are, it's worthy and it's so desirable, that's all you need. So it's understanding that being magnetic and being charismatic comes from the energy that you bring. It doesn't come from the way you look. It doesn't come from the way you dress. It doesn't come from your hairstyle. It doesn't come from these things, from the external. It comes from inwards. It comes from within. And when we can understand that, what is the energy that I bring to the table, what is the energy that I am vibrating, what is the frequency that I am vibrating at right now, by checking in with yourself and knowing that, then you can start controlling the fact that you now are magnetic. You could walk into the room, and if you feel like $1 million, and I mean not physically, not externally, you know that you are $1 million female who's worthy, who's in love with herself, who is taking care of herself. She knows her boundaries. She knows why she's here. She knows what she wants. She's very clear and has a very clear intention of who she is, and she's very grounded in who she is, and authentically she steps into her power. That is magnetic. That's how you become magnetic. It's the energy that you bring. Your aura emanates energy and a frequency, and the first thing that people feel when they are in contact with you is your energy. People oftentimes might come to your life and you're like, they're nice enough, but I don't really know what's wrong, or like there's something off with that person. And that is when you are tuning into their negativity, tuning into their anxiety, tuning into their anxiousness, to the fact that they don't necessarily feel grounded, authentic to themselves. They having their own story in their head, and that is projected into the frequency that they vibrate at. So when we can understand, it's actually so, so powerful to know that that's nothing to do with how you look. It's nothing to do what you dress. If you are confident in yourself, and you are walking into the room with this confidence, this unshakable confidence, that is magnetic, and people are drawn to you. I have met a woman who's a beautiful, beautiful lady, but she's a bit overweight, but the strength that she brings, and she's actually a shamana. She's actually, she runs spiritual retreats, but I was absolutely mesmerized by the presence of her. I was mesmerized by the way she carried herself, the way she was speaking, the way she was walking, her body language, all of that was absolutely beautiful, but very almost alluring, and very like almost she was leading the room, and that was her energy. It was nothing to do with the way she looked. It was nothing to do with any external. It was the fact that she was grounded in who she is. You could tell she loved herself. She was very, very, very strong, and she was possessing this strong feminine energy of a mother, of a carer, of medicine woman. There was so much like a almost like a mystic emotional, it was like almost like a mystical energy about her, very, very powerful. And I said to her, I am absolutely mesmerized by who you are. I love your energy. I think you are so powerful in the way you are. And that is someone that I'd love to look up to. That is a female that I'm striving to be. I want to be the person that people can feel safe with, that she's loving, she's caring, but she also has this strength about her. And all of that comes from what we believe when we believe in ourselves, what we think about ourselves, and how we perceive ourselves. And again, it's nothing to do with the external, so your looks. Number 3 is being authentic, loving, and kind. Now, when we are very grounded in who we are and we are the authentic self, we know ourselves, we are okay with ourselves, we have accepted the flaws, everything that we might be ashamed of or whatever, like the shadow part of us. When we have accepted those parts of us, and when we are authentically standing in who it is that we are, in that strength, in that resilience, in that belief and self-trust, when we stand in that power, we are absolutely magnetic to others. And that's why I've put the authentic with kind, compassionate, and loving together, because sometimes as female, especially because of the patriarchy and how we were taught to be very masculine, and authenticity can be really misled by, we need to push, we need to fight for our authenticity, we have to let people know that we are so authentic, or we are who we are, and we need to be respected. That is a very, very rigid energy, and it's a very masculine energy. And so that's why it's so important to combine the kindness and the compassion and loving energy with your authenticity. So every time you're trying to speak your truth, every time you are being authentically you, every time you have to set a boundary, because that is definitely in congruence with being authentic, you have to come from the place of love. You have to come from the place of this gentle feminine energy, and that is irresistible, because not many people today, unfortunately, actually stand in their truth. Not many people are courageous enough to speak their truth, to be authentically them, to be okay with being judged, to be okay with not being liked by others. Because of course, if you are being authentically you, there will be people that you're not going to be their cup of tea. And of course, that's absolutely fine, because when you're authentic and grounded in who you are, you don't really care, because you know that the people that are your people who love you and will see you for who you authentically are, these are the people that you want to invite into your life. You understand, as an authentic self, you understand that people who judge you, are jealous of you, when they feel anxious around you because you invoke some emotion, by you standing in your truth, by you being the powerful being that you are, and you've understood and you've done the healing, and you understood that yes, you are the powerful being. And oftentimes we can invoke different emotions and trigger people who we present with their own lack of authenticity. So when we can stand in that power, that is absolutely magnetic. And people, because we don't have, again, because a lot of people are not courageous enough to go there. They're not courageous enough to be like, this is who I am, and if you don't like it, that's fine. If you like it, that's amazing. But if you don't like me, that's absolutely fine. And you are so aligned with who you are, and that is magnetic to those people that want to be inspired, that are open-minded, that are of a growth mindset. And these are the people that you definitely want to invite into your life. Number 4, speak to yourself and affirm, I am magnetic. So It is so crucial and important to check in with your self-talk. What is she telling herself? Like, what are you telling you? Every morning when you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, are you standing in front of the mirror and judging, blaming, shaming, thinking of how much you haven't done, or that you have wrinkles, or that your, I don't know, boobs are saggy, whatever that is? Or are you standing in front of that mirror and cheerlead yourself? Are you standing in front of the mirror every morning and say, good morning, my love, I'm so happy to see you, or I'm so happy to be here, I'm grateful for this day, I'm grateful for my body, I'm grateful for being able to brush my teeth in the morning and have my favorite coffee? What are the affirmations that you tell yourself every morning? Because that will determine the energy that you bring. And when we can affirm, I am magnetic, it's so amazing, because if you told yourself, I am beautiful, oftentimes because we don't actually believe that about ourselves, your brain will go into cognitive dissonance. So in other words, you will tell yourself something and your brain will be like, no, you don't. Like, you don't think you're beautiful. Because if there is a subconscious underlying feeling or emotion and subconscious belief, limiting belief that you are in some way not beautiful, because let's be honest, all of us struggle in some way of comparison, of what we can see on social media, what's happening in the world today. It is very easy to fall into the trap of forgetting how magnificent and beautiful you are in the way that you are, in every single centimeter of your body, that your body is a beautiful vessel, that you are beautiful. But oftentimes we don't actually think that, and we don't actually believe that. And if our subconscious doesn't believe that, and if you affirm to yourself, I am beautiful, I am beautiful, I'm beautiful, your brain will tell you different. Your brain will try to tell you what it believes. And because your brain believes subconsciously, believes that that's not true, using I am magnetic is amazing, because you can't tell yourself you're not magnetic. You can be magnetic. Anyone can be magnetic, because that is something that can be taught. It's not determined by your look. It's not determined by anything else but just the energy. So telling yourself and affirming, like, especially like if you're going into an interview, if you're going into a meeting, if you being surrounded by people and you want to have a nice communication with them and you want to connect with people, it is so important to affirm I am magnetic before you enter the room, and watch what happens, because as soon as you do that, your energy shifts. You are emanating the magnetism of I am magnetic. I actually attract people. I am desirable in the way of to be around me. People want to be around people who are magnetic and charismatic, because that is so, that energy is so intriguing. It's so interesting. Straight away people are like, who is this person? I want to know her. I want to find out. I'm sure you see these people in your life. So watch what energy they emanate. So number 5, we're moving on. Number 5 is make those around you feel seen and be present with them. I wanted to put that point in because to be magnetic and to actually exhort that energy is to be present first. You need to be checked in with yourself to be able to, not control, I don't like to use that word, but to be able to be aware of what is the energy that I'm bringing to the table. What is the energy that I'm bringing to this meeting, to this encounter, to my workplace, to this date? What is the energy that I'm bringing here? And when you can be present, you will be checked in with your energy, and then you will be able to maneuver and change your thoughts. If they are negative, you can start shifting and anchoring those thoughts into the positive affirmations about I trust myself, I am good enough, I love me, I am so good to be around, people love me, I have so much to bring, I have so much value to give. And when you can give yourself that affirmation, that's when you become magnetic. And next point of this point is make people feel seen. people don't remember what you told them, they don't remember what you said, but they do remember how you made them feel. And to leave lasting expression on someone and to be magnetic in the moment is to listen, is to be the person that's very rarely met, because a lot of people today are focused on their own life, they're focused on their own stuff, they talk to you and you can tell they don't really listen, they're very much in their head. Oftentimes we are overthinkers, overwhelmed, and people are not very present and they're not very engaged, or they can be on the phone when they're talking to you, or they could be distracted. There's so many distractions in today's world. So to make someone feel your charisma and your magnetism is to be able to listen to them and actually hear them, to be present with them, to show them that they matter, because in today's society a lot of people don't even feel that they matter. So if you could be that person, that beacon of light that they encounter and they talk to you, they will remember you. They will remember your name, they'll be interested in what you've got to say, because they feel good around you, because they can see that you don't judge them, they can see that you coming from the place of love and with open heart, you are just curious about who they are. And when you can be present and make someone feel seen and heard, that is absolutely magnetic. Just quickly taking this time to invite you to subscribe to this channel. On this channel, we're talking all womanhood. We are talking about how to be more in your feminine energy, how to live a life with ease and grace and flow, how to be empowered, how to be authentically you. Subscribe and share this channel if you find it helpful, if you find it valuable. So subscribe to this channel. I think we are coming to the point in this lifetime where there's a big shift happening in the universe, big shift happening in the consciousness of the humanity, and this is the moment to grow, this is the moment to develop, this is the moment to bring more awareness to your life and actually start living from the place of happiness and joy, and acceptance of what is. All right, moving on. Number 6, be in your feminine flow and check in with your body language. So to be magnetic and to exert that energy of magnetism is to be aware of what your body language is. If you are contracted, if you are anxious, if you are stressed and you are very rigid in the way you are, that is not magnetic. That is pushing people away, because the energy that you give off by your body language is very it blocks you off from people. It's not very attractive to be in that energy. So it's so important to be aware of your body language. Be soft with your body. Move your body in a soft way. You almost want to imagine like a cat. You know, you have this cat and he walks and the cat is just very like flowy, and the way cat walks is very much like powerful, but at the same time very, very soft and very graceful. So you want to think about using your body with being like pulling your shoulders back, with being nice and upright, with being open. Body language is another thing that people subconsciously read, and that it is so important what you bring with your body. And you can also use your body to exert the magnetism, that energy of being desired, being desirable by people. And I don't mean it in a romantic way, I mean it being desired to be around. So be in your feminine flow. This is what I mean. So feminine flow is like, again, very flowy, very creative, very gentle and very compassionate, coming from the place of love. It's not coming from the place of rigidness, the masculine, the control, the action taking. No, using your body in that very feminine way where you are soft with the way you move, that is so magnetic and it is so attractive to others, because you are open, you are opening the space, you are opening the field, you're opening yourself, and those people can feel it. They can feel this very soft energy around you, where you make them feel safe, you make them feel seen, you make them feel heard, you make them feel that this is a safe container to be around this person. I have been in this work for about 5 years, and what I've noticed is the more aligned I am with me, the more at peace I am, the more I am in my natural flow, the more I attract people that I want into my life, people that are aligning with who I am. And it's so, as a coach, I wouldn't be able to be a good coach if I couldn't hold that space, the space of nurture, the space of groundingness, but the space of like, almost it's like, okay, I've got you, like I am here and I'm holding that space. I am a powerful strength, like there's a powerful strength within, because to hold the space you need to have that strength and that kind of some sort of, it's almost like a queen energy. You want to think about the queen is like, she's soft but she's also powerful at the same time. And this is a beautiful dance that we women can really utilize, and we can really use in our everyday life. And it is so magnetic to be that, to be to be able to create the container for someone, to be able to make them feel heard and seen and loved and accepted, and make them feel like they belong into the space. So it is so magnetic to be in your feminine flow. Utilize that. If you find yourself rigid, do something and start practicing being more in your feminine flow, because this is a power that we women possess. We have this power that we can bring to others, to men and women, make them feel seen, make them feel heard, make them feel like they belong, like they matter. And that is a powerful thing that we women can do. And therefore we then become very magnetic and very desirable to be around. Number 7, be bold and speak your truth. Set boundaries with a loving energy. So and this will kind of chain back to my first point when I was talking about it's so important to set boundaries. It's so important to know what you want in life before you start being magnetic. Now, people who set boundaries are magnetic because other people are seeking someone who comes to them with the integrity, who are safe. In other words, if someone knows who they are and they set clear boundaries of how they like to be treated, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, it creates the safety for people. People know how they can take you. They have an idea of who it is that you are. And if we set boundaries from the place of love, and that's so important, because oftentimes when I talk about boundaries, I feel like some of you might think that setting boundary has to come from the rigid place. It has to come from the place of, this is what I want, and it's very aggressive, and that's the energy we bring. I think it's so important. I mean, it's so important to set your boundaries from the place of love. And again, from the energy of love, from being, this is what's important to me, and that's the boundary. I'm just letting you know, this is what I expect. That's how I expect to be treated. That's how I expect to be spoken to. When you bring that from the place of love, so the detachment from that other person's outcome, essentially, because you don't want to be attached to, emotionally attached to what would be the outcome of me setting the boundary. And I think it can be very hard, especially when we have been going through our life without setting any boundaries at all. It can be very hard to start with. But when we start learning how to set boundaries, so start setting boundaries with maybe those people that you don't really care about, rather than the people that you actually love, and maybe start setting small boundaries, you know, just kind of nudges of this is what I want, this is what I expect. And get yourself trained, and because it is a practice, it's something that we should learn, to set boundaries. But to set a boundary from the place of love means it means, what energy do I bring? So when I say, I don't like when my car is dirty, for the, I don't know, for the cousin that visits you and he makes lots of mess in your car and he just kind of leaves it. The way you can set the boundary with that one is say, I don't like my car to be dirty. I would really appreciate if you took your stuff with you. And that is really, rather than being aggressive and angry and whatever, you almost detach the emotion from it. You almost want to be like, I don't really like this. This is what I'm you know, you're just verbalizing it. So I don't really like when my car is dirty. Can you take your stuff with you? And that is very light way of expressing your boundaries and setting those boundaries. And I think it's so important, because setting boundaries from the place of anger and the place of rigidness and the place of defense can be very dangerous, because you will end up arguing with people. You will end up the setting boundaries will be a big burden in your life, and we don't want that. We just want to come from the place of, this is what I want. And often when we set boundaries, talk about your feelings. Tell people how this makes you feel. If someone is speaking to you with lack of respect, you can just say to them, I don't like when you talk to me that way. It makes me feel really sad when you speak to me in that way. Because and I will do a video on boundaries, definitely, because it's such an important subject. But when we can set our boundary from the place of, this is how this makes me feel, and the people that love you, people that care about you, they should and they will respect your boundary. They will try to change their behavior. And you can say it once, you can say it 2 times, it's up to you. But if someone doesn't respect your boundary, even though you said it from the place of love, you came from a beautiful energy of love, and you just said, this doesn't work for me, or it doesn't feel right to me. When you say it, when you do it, I don't feel safe, I don't feel seen, I don't feel heard, I don't feel appreciated when you talk to me in the way, or when you do this, when you do a particular thing. And if that person doesn't really want to change, and they don't respect your boundary, then this might be the first indication that that person should never be in your life. Because if someone doesn't love you enough to care about how you feel, how they make you feel, then maybe that's not the right person to be in your life anymore. And this is a part of the awakening. The part of awakening is people might fall away. When you start speaking your truth, when you start being authentically you, when you start being empowered in your own right, people who used to thrive on you being weaker, people pleasing, not being authentically you, and just doing things for others, these are the people that will usually fall away. But let them, because your life will be so much better with people who see you, people who accept you, people who you are important to, and your feelings do matter to those that love you truly. And these are the people that should be in your life. Okay, 8, last but not least, be confident in who you are, trust yourself and love yourself. And I feel like this maybe should be the first point, but it is 8. Be confident in who you are, trust yourself and love yourself. To be magnetic is to be, again, grounded in your humanness. It's being grounded in who is Sabrina, Rebecca, who is she at the soul level. So you are you, this is the identity. So I'm Marta, I'm a personal trainer, women empowerment coach, a mother, all of these identities, right? I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend. These are identities. This is the identity that we take on. This is our ego knowing. So the ego, for ego to feel safe, Ego needs to have something to lean back on. So ego wants to know, okay, this is where I am, and this is the ego. But at the core of my being, who is Marta? At the core of my being, Marta is the person that's got desires, wants, needs. She's got a journey ahead of her. She's got a purpose. She is speaking to you. This is who I am. At the core of who I am is coming from the place of service. Service is important to me. Helping others is important to me. Changing women's lives, it's important to me. It wasn't like this always, but when I started to tune into who it is that I truly are and seeing me for who I am, and actually loving and accepting the shadows, the not so pretty parts of me, that's when you start being, that's how you manifest self-love, is accepting you for who you are and understand that what you bring to this world is unique. And what you bring to this world is so needed and so wanted. By you standing in your truth, standing in your power, by you loving who you are. And I mean, looking yourself in the eye in the morning and seeing the human that you are, that is magnetic. Because by you being you, by you loving you and accepting you, you are giving a permission slip to those around you to do the same. This is the moment in time, in the universe, in the history, where we are waking up to understanding that following others, not cool. Trying to be like others, not cool. Be you. Accept you. Love you. Matthew Hassey says it. He's a relationship coach, but he said it in a beautiful way when he said, you have one job. In this lifetime, you have one job, and that is to take care of the human that you have been given. So your soul has chosen your life. Your soul has decided to be born into the family you were born into. And you are unique. There's not going to be another one of you. There's never been another one of you. And when you can see yourself that you are this beautiful diamond given to this world, and that you have a mission, you have a purpose, that you are here for a reason, you will start understanding and embodying the deepest self-love that you can think of. Not about superficial stuff, not about loving your hair, not about loving your skin. It's about seeing the human being that you are truly, and with open heart, with full acceptance of your own journey, of all the mistakes that you've made, all the silly decisions that you've made in your life, accepting and forgiving yourself and understanding that you are on this journey, trying, failing, going for another thing, another endeavor, struggling through life sometimes giving up on yourself. And that's okay. And loving every part. When you are like this, when you love yourself deeply at the soul level, that is so magnetic. That is so attractive. Because again, those around you will feel that they can do the same for themselves. That it is okay to love them. That it is okay to see themselves. It's okay to be who they are. And that then there's no one out there that should approve of them. And there's no one out there that should approve of you. The only person that needs to approve of you is you. So love yourself and be bold in the way you are. That way you will become magnetic and attract into your life what it is that you want. I want to just add a side note here. We have to understand that we are energetical beings having a human experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience in this lifetime, and we are emanating energy every second of every day. Whether you're asleep, depending on your dreams, or your state of mind, or your subconscious work. when you are cooking, doing anything, you are emanating energy. And so what happens inside of you at every given moment in your life determines of what energy you give out to the world, and what you give out to the world is what you shall attract. So check in with yourself, take care of your energy, do some aura work, clean your aura, get rid of the binds and the cords that you may have with your past relationships, with people in your life, with places, with circumstances. If something feels binding and it feels it's attached to your life energetically still, or to yourself, do that work, release it, and cleanse your energy, clear your energy, believe in yourself, and be the magnetic being that you truly are. I love you so much. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. Subscribe to this channel if you find it helpful, and I'd love to communicate with you. I'd love to create this beautiful community of women that are empowered, that are grounded in who they are, and they are in love with themselves. Take care for now.